Hello, geometry students. Today we're going to be covering the Unit 6 activity. This one has to do with drawing geometric shapes in 1-point perspective and also in 2-point perspective. You can probably just go to page 696 in your textbook and follow the instructions there. But if that doesn't work, I'm going to be going over everything here. So if you don't have a textbook or you'd rather just follow along with me, then you could just do that here. Okay, so I'm going to be going over that. And so this activity is on page 14 of the Unit 6 workbook. So you go to that page, and we're going to go ahead and work on this. So let me go ahead and share my screen here, and I'm going to show you with the document camera what's kind of going on. So you're going to need a straight edge piece of paper without any lines on it, just plain white piece of printer paper, and a straight edge. Okay. So let me share my screen here, and we can take a look at that. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is for question 1, ask for a 1-point perspective drawing of a box. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a point and a line like so. So the line goes through that point just like that. Okay. The line actually isn't that important, but yeah, that's not really that important. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a box. I want you to draw it quite a bit lower down from the point, and make it pretty sizable. Not huge, but pretty decently sized. It doesn't need to be a perfect square. It could be a rectangle. Okay. Just connect that. There we go. Okay. Now this 1-point perspective one is pretty simple. What we're going to do first is we're going to draw a line, and you could draw these lines kind of faintly at first, and then we can reinforce the lines that we want to keep and erase the ones we don't want to keep. Okay. So I like to just draw kind of faintly at first, and we're going to connect each point of our rectangle to this point that we drew earlier. Just connect there. And you do that with each point, each corner of this rectangle. So we should have 4 segments that go from each corner of the rectangle to this centralized point. So this 1-point perspective. Okay. Now what we're going to do is think of this part right up here, like connecting these first top 2 as the top of the box. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line, and it needs to be parallel to the line we drew here. So I'm going to draw a parallel line that connects here and here. Okay, just like that. Okay. From there, we're going to draw a line going parallel to this one. So parallel to this one from this point down. So similarly, same thing over here. So how this is parallel, we're going to draw a line parallel to that, but going down from here. And then connect those across here. Okay. So everything behind this though, we're going to erase. So we don't need these anymore back here. Okay. I'm also going to erase a little bit of this right here. Okay. Hopefully that looks quite a bit like a square now, or like a cube or a box. So now there might be some parts of this that, imagine if you're looking at this box, there'd be parts that you wouldn't be able to see, right? Like this front piece would cover up, like you wouldn't be able to see these parts, right? So the parts that you wouldn't be able to see, we're going to go ahead and make those dotted lines. And there you go, just like that. maybe darken this line because you would be able to see this line here. Okay, great. Okay, I hope that kind of makes sense. I hope you're able to follow along with that. Okay. Now, the 2-point perspective one is a little bit trickier, but we're going to start off a similar way with drawing a line. Okay. This will be like our horizon line, basically. And here you're going to draw 2 points. So draw 2 points on this line, and we want to make them quite a distance from each other, like so. From here, a little bit lower down, we're going to go ahead and draw a segment. Okay. This will be like the front. If you're looking at the box, this will be like looking at one of the corners of the box. Now, what we're going to do is from this segment is connect both ends of this segment to each of these points that we created here on our perspective. Here, connect to here from the bottom of this segment. So same point there. Same thing going to the other point of perspective. Okay, so you should have this like V looking thing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line that's parallel to this, another segment that's parallel to this, and it's going to be farther up here. So it'll be like here. And you could decide how far or how close you want that to be, but this and this should be parallel. Similarly, you'll do another one on the other side. It doesn't have to be the same distance away. It can be the same distance away, but it doesn't have to be. So in mine, I'm not going to make it the same exact distance away. So notice I did this one a little bit closer. You don't have to do it that way. You can do one side farther, one side closer, or you can do them same distance from this center line, either way. Now what we want to do is we want to connect this, both of these, to the far point. Okay, so from here to here, and from here to here, same. So here to here. And again, we might want to draw these lines a little lightly because we're going to erase some of it. Okay. Same idea with this one. We're going to go from this point and this point, top and bottom of this, connect to the far point over here. Okay, just like that. All right. Now, hopefully you can see the box that we just made. We're going to erase the stuff that's not needed here anymore. I don't like to erase completely. I still like keeping, like, you can still sort of see the guiding lines a little bit. And let's erase this line here. Okay. Now the other, we're going to make some dotted lines, just like we did in the last one. Okay. So in my case, it'll look like that. Yours might look a little bit different or may look very similar. Either way, no big deal. And that's how this is done. I hope that made sense. And again, that was the Unit 6 activity with the 1 and 2 point perspective. All right. Well, with that, I'll see you next time. Take care.